Making news this week, a same-sex marriage rally was held in Perth demanding marriage equality.
The Treasurer has made a significant announcement for this year's state budget forecast.
A special report into volunteer tutors helping underprivileged kids in Hong Kong.
And the giant floating yellow duck that sparked an internet frenzy.
This is the evening news with Ivan Leung and Danielle Staniskov.
Good evening. A same-sex marriage parade has kicked off this weekend in the Perth CBD. With the recent legislation passed in our neighbour country, New Zealand, politicians from every party in Australia faced increasing pressure from the LBGT movement, and it's not reached fever pitch as more Australians join the cause. Katrina Love has a strong opinion on this matter. I interviewed her earlier this week. Katrina Love, welcome to the program.
Thanks.
Now, you have a strong view on same-sex marriage. And basically, given this week's rally, are you positive that Australia would be this next state coming up to legalise same-sex marriage?
Well, firstly, I have strong thoughts on equal marriage. I don't think it's correct to call it same-sex marriage. What we're after is equality for every citizen of Australia. I do have strong views on it. I don't necessarily think that Australia will be the next country to legalise equal marriage, but I don't know why not. I think it's the majority of Australians are in favour of it. Both political parties are against this. What do you have to say about that one? But I think Tony Abbott has certainly been quite outspoken about his views, but I think recently the revelation of his the existence of his lesbian sister may change his views about that, and he's already said he's thinking differently about the rights of gay people to marry. So it wouldn't actually surprise me if Julia Gillard and the ALP don't legalise it before the next election. It wouldn't surprise me if Tony Abbott and the Liberal Party, upon being elected, do that.
Christians, Muslims and all, they have their own beliefs and their own systems. Do you respect that they do not support same-sex marriage because of their religion?
I respect their right to their religion. I don't think their belief or their religion should impact on my life or other people. I didn't get to vote about any heterosexual people getting married in Australia. I don't see why anyone else should get to vote on the right of every citizen of Australia to marry the person they love. So yes, I respect everyone's religious views, their right to have them, whether I agree with them or not. And they should respect my views to marry the person I love, whether they want to, whether they want to or not. If they don't agree with equal marriage, then don't marry someone of the same sex.
Katrina Love, thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
WA Treasurer Troy Buswell has announced significant increases in this year's state budget forecast, including a 4% rise on residential electricity tariffs from July this year.
WA Treasurer Troy Buswell has announced the budget forecast for this year with a slight increase on utilities and transport. Electricity prices will increase by 4% or $58 this year, while water prices will go up by 6%. However, the utility concessions and subsidies will also increase.
I think that is a modest increase in the price of electricity. It equates to around $1.10 per week.
Other transport costs, including public transport fares, driver license fees and vehicle registrations, will increase by 5%. Mr. Buswell also stated that there will be short-term plans and long-term government structural changes to keep the budget healthy. But the opposition took the opportunity to attack another utility increase.
We know this government can't manage their own budget, therefore they're putting up cost of living pressures on ordinary families.
Electricity prices have gone up by 70% and water prices by 63% since Colin Barnett came into power in Western Australia. The WA state budget won't be announced until August this year. Queenie Lee, WAMN News.
The state opposition has come out to attack the Barnett government's initiative to ease ambulance ramping in WA, despite the fact that a new ambulance surge capacity unit was announced together by Health Minister Kim Hames and St John's Ambulance. Labour Shadow Health Minister Roger Cook said the new unit is just a drop in the ocean.
The fact of the matter is that right across the metropolitan area, not just in the western suburbs, we have a crisis when it comes to ambulance ramping.
WAMN News understands that ASCU can provide treatments to 15 patients, and the Health Minister has reassured that this policy can ensure patients can receive the care that they need.
The Fremantle Esplanade Youth Plaza has been given the go-ahead with the funding support from Lottery West. It's understood the facility will be family-friendly and allows youth to ride the BMX, skateboards and scooters. Timothy Seow with the details.
The City of Fremantle will embark on a new project that will give birth to the Esplanade Youth Plaza. Fremantle Mayor Dr. Brad Pettit said the $1.2 million multi-purpose youth plaza would create an inner-city hub for both youth and families to enjoy.
I think it's going to be really exciting. The Esplanade's a really well-loved park, but what we're going to see is actually a really new world-class facility down there for youth to get them down, using the park even more, and actually I think it's going to be a real attractor for bringing lots of young people into Fremantle.
The new facility, which will be located in the southeastern corner of Fremantle's Esplanade Reserve, will attract multiple user groups, including the traditional wheeled sports of skateboarding, BMX and scooter riding, and many other facilities.
So what we want to see is that people can bring their young families who can play in the playground, whilst their slightly older children are playing in the youth facility in the skate park.
The City of Fremantle will finalise the Esplanade Youth Plaza design and scope of works over the next few weeks, with a final design of works plan expected to be ready by the end of August. Timothy Seow, WAMN News.
To Hong Kong news now. The port strike is finally over after 40 days worth of protests.
The union has accepted the 9.8% pay rise promised by the 4 contractors. However, the date of exactly when the employees will go back to work is still under negotiation.
After 40 days and 40 nights of political standstill, the port's trading activity has returned back to normal. The unions have finally accepted the 9.8% pay rise increase from the contractors, despite the fact that they were demanding much more. WAMN News understands that 300 dock workers have already returned to their working positions, but 30 crane operators have vowed not to return to their work until their former colleagues are rehired after one of the operating contractors has collapsed during the strike. Kristian Dwyer, WAMN News.
Underprivileged families in Hong Kong often have difficulties affording better quality education for their children. However, one man has decided to make the change and created a pro bono tutorial class to assist children with their studies after school. Here's a 2-minute extract of YTV News senior journalist Dustin Lowe's special report.
Leung is the activist who is running the tutorial and is determined to serve the underprivileged children. This week, he hosted a meeting to brief the new volunteer tutors on what they should do. Leung started this tutor service because deeply understands that the working class needs more support on education. Interactive teaching methods were used, encouraging students to enjoy learning.
你嚟呢度補習之後，啲成績有冇進步啊？
知喎，有退步喎。After the tutorial, teachers came together for a meeting and pool ideas for the next class. Some tutor expressed to us that wish to inspire the future generations to actively help those are in need.
呢個係我嘅理念，就係其實係等佢知道呢個社會其實都仲有人去關心佢嘅。咁到佢第時大個，可能佢自己有嘅能力，有咁嘅時間，都可以去關心呢個社會，同埋幫助有需要嘅人。
While Leung wished that this tutorial can also increase social bonding. Dustin Lowe, WAMN News.
And if you'd like to see the full version of that story, please click on the shoulder graphics right beside me. Changing pace now, the former chief of the anti-corruption agency ICAC, Timothy Tong, faced more allegations this week. It's alleged that Mr. Tong has received gifts without declaring this to the Commission.
Ex-Commissioner of the Independent Commission Against Corruption of Hong Kong, Timothy Tong, is accused of receiving gifts without declaring them to the Commission, and the situation has been developing rapidly. According to a local media's report, Tom received 450 gifts in his 5-year term as an ICAC commissioner. Those presents include Maltine wine as well as other expensive spirits and some other goods. He is also accused of treating the staff of the liaison office with fees paid by the public funds at least 20 times. The ICAC representative said that the commission was checking the accounts. However, due to the heavy workload, it would take a little while for them to confirm all information. As a result, they had nothing to say regarding all the above accusations for now. Charlie Ju, WAMN News.
And finally tonight is the giant yellow duck that took Hong Kong by storm. The floating duck sculpture entitled Spreading Joy Around the World by Florentine Hoffman is doing the rounds in harbours around the world and has recently landed in Hong Kong's Victoria Harbour. Citizens were quick to get out their cameras to capture the moment, which has sparked an internet frenzy. However, if you don't like ducks, our advice for you is to avoid social media for the next 48 hours.
Something tricky for us to do.
Well, I love them, so I don't see a problem with it, isn't it? And that's how the world looks tonight. Don't forget to join us for our Cantonese news on the weekend.
Before we go, we'll say bon voyage to our long-time journalist Timothy Seow, who's heading back to Singapore.
Good luck to you, Tim, and good night to you all.
Good night.